Hello, everybody. Welcome, Hypno Junkies, to the final episode of Chaos Head Noah. Why do I say final? Because as I was editing and going through the upcoming episodes, I realized, hey, this is episode 50. What a great way to just end off the series on a nice round number. And it also harkens back to what we did for AI The Somnium Files 2, because the final episode for that was a big, long finale as well. So I figured, hey, why not stick to tradition? The prologue may be its own thing, depending on what the prologue ends up being. We'll figure that out during editing. That may end up being its own thing, in the same way that I did a tiny little follow-up to AI The Somnium Files 2 to cover the little hidden ending. But in the meantime, we're going to one-shot this, and I am excited. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen, what's going to call back. One thing I want to mention real quick. I mentioned before that there was a name in the voice settings that I did not recognize, and I was wondering who it was going to be, and it was going to be this Orgel person here, and I realized, oh, this is Saratan. Sarah apparently has a last name, and I don't think it's ever been mentioned, but yeah, this is Saratan. So no, there is not an extra name in the voice settings that has not yet been mentioned. Everyone here is accounted for. All of these names are known. So, never mind. Psy'Min is a moron. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about? Not a whole lot. I don't want to reiterate a whole lot of things that have gone on in the past or do a whole lot of speculating because, well, there's been a lot. There's been a lot that has happened. And who knows what of it is going to come up in the finale. I assume that the entire world being some sort of game from the Committee of 300's perspective may tie into how Takumi plans to survive. Because again, he really is just Shogun's delusion, and I thought the whole idea is that if one dies, the other dies, and their life basically runs out shortly after the third melt. So, is there a happy ending waiting for us there? Does that get resolved in some way? I also wonder if Bon is going to get a nice moment. Because he's been sort of shafted. He's been played by the main bad guy most of the game, then gets shot before all the cool stuff, and is completely absent from all the special endings. So I wonder if he's going to get a little spotlight, if he's going to get a moment. Because I miss him. I like Bon. He's a cool guy. I need to do my Columbo voice more. I also like, in hindsight, how Remy brainwashed the class. I keep drawing the parallels as a joke with hypnosis, but it actually reminds me of something. There's this hypnotist called Igor Ledachowski? I forget how you pronounce his last name. And he's a fairly prolific hypnotist. He sells a lot of courses and things, and I know one thing I've heard from him is the whole idea of hypnosis following an ABS system. A, you absorb attention. That's kind of like your induction. B, bypass of the critical faculty, which is also part of the induction, I suppose. And then S being the establishment of selective thinking, which is the suggestion. And Remy brainwashing her class kind of followed that pattern. First of all, she got everyone's attention, everyone's focus, by going into the classroom and saying, "Hi, everyone!" Like, she didn't just walk in and do the delusion. She had to get everyone's attention. She had to get everyone's focus. So A, absorb attention. B, bypass critical faculty, which was the inserting of things into the dead zones, pulling out the D swords and going into people's dead zones or sending the particles into the dead zones to bypass the critical thinking. And then the selective thinking, the suggestion, the S, would have been the delusion, the actual suggestion, the thoughts put into people's minds. So I like that. I like this game now, and now I want a D sword. So that's kind of fun. That's a neat way of thinking about it, looking at it. But I do wonder how the mechanics are going to play out here. I like the idea that Remy essentially removed her dead spots with all those eyeballs in the Remy ending. That was a neat little idea. I like that thought. I like that countermeasure. I do wonder how creative people are going to be in here. I wonder if we're going to be able to remove our dead spots by just having our 6 girls around us, our harem. Because it was implied in our very first ending that when Nishiju got his D-sword, he could kind of see what everyone else was seeing. He was like, if anyone finds Hatano, don't bother shouting or whatever, I'll just know. because he was sort of seeing what everyone else was seeing and aware of what everyone else was aware of. If his little harem is around him, then he shouldn't have any dead spots either. So I wonder if that's going to come up. Maybe that'll be the twist in the final battle or something. But I do wonder about Gladiol. I do wonder about the Committee of 300. I do wonder how we're going to essentially cheat the system and continue to live. Maybe we'll combine with Shogun in the same way that all the Rimis combined. Who the hell knows? But at this point, I am just rambling. I want to get into this. Like I said, we're in it for the long haul. When I click Blue Sky, are we going to go through the entire game again with interludes and a new ending, or are we just going to go entirely straight to new content? I have no idea. Come find out with me. Here we go. Chapter 10. That's it. Go. New stuff. Oh! Oh, this may end up being quick. Because these guys prayed for me in the main ending too, I think? In one of the endings. Nishiju Nanami prays. Is this going to be a 40-minute episode? I'm sitting here with my coffee and my sparkling water. I'm ready for like 6 hours. There's got to be a lot of revelations, though. There's so much to address. I remember being disappointed by Steins Gate 0 because I was ready for the big finale and then it just ended. And I was like, what? This better not do that. But let's see what happens. Nishiju Nanami prays. In a hospital, admitted alongside her brother, curled up in the corner of a waiting room, brimming with injured souls. We don't actually know what timeline we're in here. Even not counting the character endings, there were 2 timelines. So what is even going on right now? The funny thing is, if you're watching this on YouTube, I have no idea how long this is going to be. You already know. Because I guarantee you've already glanced at the clock on the video and been like, oh. So, let's see what happens here. But Nishiju Nanami prays, clutching her real brother's wrinkled hand, enduring the pain in her right hand, which is not there. She closes her eyes and prays for the safety of her other brother. I think this was in the Silent Sky ending, not the Crying Sky ending. So we're coming full circle, I think. Kusunoki Yua prays. Are we basically in that final chapter, but deviating from that point where everyone prays for us and now there's new stuff? By the rubble of a collapsed building. In a container that laid buried by it all. She went to get the figurines like we told her to. You get to keep them. Yeah, clutching one of his anime girl figures. Enduring the pain in her chest from seeing his figures desecrated by the earthquake and the ensuing fires. Yes, I'm devastated too. She closes her eyes and prays for the safety of the boy who forgave her. He did forgive you. I like this song, by the way. It's sad. Hello, Ayase. Is that the book that you're holding to your chest there? Kishimori Ayase prays. At Sume Academy, now an evacuation shelter, looking to the sky from the rooftop and wondering why it's red. Clutching her paperback book of legends. Okay, I'm just going to put this out there. If your book of legends is a paperback, maybe it's not that authoritative. Enduring the malicious pain of the innumerable delusions concealing the collapsed Shibuya, she closes her eyes and prays. At least get a hardcover version. For the safety of the boy who listened to her song and her story, but was kind of dozing off through that last one. Orihara Kazue prays. Whose hand is she holding? At Shinzen Station, on a dimly lit platform. Is it Senna's? Clutching Aoi Senna's trembling hand. Well, that got answered. Enduring the pain of her injured leg, she closes her eyes and prays for the safety of the boy, her classmate, whom she spoke with in her inner voice. Aoi Senna prays, sitting beside her father on the ground, clutching her father's cold hand, enduring the pain of regret, having not been honest to the very end. So one hand is holding her dad's hand and the other hand is being clutched by Kazue. Senna's doing double duty. Senna closes her eyes and prays for the safety of the boy who tried to grant her wish, no matter how clumsily, and wanted to give her all those crunchy coons. Sakihata Rimi prays, who is actually on the scene if we're in the continuity I think we're in. I hope you guys all remember the original run through. I don't even remember what episode all this stuff happened in. It would have been in like the 30s. Lying on the cold floor, tightly clutching her own hands extended toward him, enduring the tightening in her chest from when she saw him covered in wounds. She closes her eyes and prays for the safety of the boy whom she swore to protect, yet instead came to save her. So it's not going to be a big showdown with all 7 of us, which is a little bit surprising. I guess my guess for everyone removing my dead spots by being my eyes is not going to be the case. But what is going to happen? I built up everyone hard during the intro game. You better deliver. I was unable to do anything, this being Shogun. It was you who acted. As a result, everyone has had their eyes on you. Oh, I feel like Shogun is talking to the player. I feel like Shogun is talking to me. Mutual recognition of you has long since been established. You know why mutual recognition of me has been established? Because you guys are watching. Because you guys are watching the Let's Play. You guys have had mutual recognition with me as you've been along for the ride. You're part of this now. From this point forward, no, already, you are me? I am. Who are you? Uh-oh. Oh. That's right. I forgot this was going to happen. I was going to mention this during the intro. There's going to be a whole bunch of questions. And I think if we get any of them wrong, we just head back to the A ending, which makes sense considering the praying was in the A ending. You are me? I am you. Okay, so these two are talking together. I think if I get any of these wrong, it's going to cut off. There's no me. That seems like a wrong. Because there is a me. We just said we were the same person. So there is a me. I disagree with that one. There's no you. Okay, same thing. We disagree. I'm assuming if I get something wrong, the doors stop. I am not... Well, you literally just said otherwise. I'm assuming if the doors stop, we got it wrong. You're my big bro. Well, that's correct. Ah, we don't need to do that with our big bro, but we're the big bro. You're a Nishiji-kun. Oh, look at all these callbacks to the endings we've already gone through. I wonder if this is going to go through the order that we did them in, too. The guide would have set that up, so... Yes, you, I mean, Mia. You are Takumi. Aww. Remember when Ayase was so happy at seeing the color blue? And then we went to Kazue's route and just made more red. You're Takumi-san! That's me. This is just a string of yeses now. Oh, look at Senna actually happy for a change. I am Nishiju, but you guys need to work on your capitalization and apostrophes here. You guys are second and third years. You need to know better. You're Taku. I am Taku. I am me. This is just yeses over. I appreciate the yes set. Again, as a hypnotist, I appreciate the NLP. I'm a delusionary existence. I mean, you are. We don't want to be, but you are. I exist. I mean, you do. You're still a delusionary existence, but you exist. This is a bit of a... The grayer questions worry me. Yes. Oh! We found the gate! Is that the last one? The sky that opened up in the door was the same sky that Ayase saw through the door when she jumped off the roof of the school. Does that mean I got it right? I did good? Psy'Min did good? Taku! The moment I heard that voice... Okay, I'm hearing things, but I'm not seeing things. There we go. Oh, my theme music kicked in. You're fucked. My consciousness stabilized me. The once swirling world converges all at once. I wonder if the montage there would have gone in the order that I did the endings in if I did the endings in a different order. Well, never mind. My D-sword takes shape as a converging chaos. I return to my shape as myself. Yeah, because we were, like, melting or something. The world returns to its shape as the world. Neurosei's like, why do I hear boss music? I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I think I also made that joke the first time around. All my wounds healed. My top and bottom halves are connected, which is a much better situation than I was in a minute ago. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. The pain is entirely gone. Immediate bisection. Reversed. Serenity fills my heart. You did well to overcome the delusions. I entrust you with the last of my power. Did that happen the first time around? I noticed Ribby at the end of my vision. She's okay. She's looking at me. Tears are falling down her face. I'm really, really sorry about the molestation scene. Don't cry. Oh, that seems new. No serpent this time, just an explosion. Wait. Oh, do I get my own Neurosei style? Oh, here we go. Combine them all. I want scissors. I want D scissors. Okay. Watch them literally just combine into a bluer, whiter version of Neurosei's sword. Directly behind me, space begins to warp. Prayers are brought to creation. The 6 gospels, or perhaps the impulses of 6 spirits. This is kind of what Ayase was doing, because she went and collected the swords, but it wasn't quite the right way. All too pure, all too graceful, all too dignified. All too sharp, all too ferocious, all too destructive. And all too awash with an ill-omened beauty. Neurosei, are you just standing watching this? I accept every piece of them. The 6 blades writhe above. Wistfully, or perhaps rapturously, they raise their shrieks. Like, surely they combine, right? It's literally just Neurosei's sword, but a different color. Ah, look at that. Look at how cool that shit is. Okay, it's just my sword again, but better and pinker. That's it. And fused with my D-sword. I just salvaged them for parts and upgraded my sword from Ascended to Legendary. Summoning my strength, I grasped the D-sword's hilt. Come on, make it look cooler. I ascertain its feeling. My arms work better than ever. I've completely regenerated. Narose, how you feel about this? My, this is quite fascinating. Are we going to find out who was in his office? I think some of the questions are going to be answered in the prologue. Judging by the way we're going, it's probably going to get tacked onto the end of this video, so look forward to that. You damn monstrosity. Again, you're one to talk. I focus my eyes on Narose. Sure, I'm a monster. But this is so I can rescue Remy, so I can destroy Noah 2. This is the delusion that I wished for. Are we going to make our snake, or are we just going to go ham? Narose's response is swift. That almost looked like a perspective change. Are we Narose now? He has yet to harvest the code sample of Nishiji Takumi. The delusion was supposed to corner the boy and shatter his psyche, but now the tables have turned. And that he cannot allow. He still hears boss music though. Narose closes the gap between him and Takumi. Taking a specific angle, he swings his D-sword from below. With a D-sword that can cleave any known object, he diagonally carves through Takumi's chest. I think we just regenerate Piccolo style from this, right? The target's durability makes no difference. Killing a person with it is as simple as slicing through a block of gelatin. With one quick swipe from Narose, Takumi's body is split into pieces. Yeah, we've had this already. His head, right arm, and right shoulder all sliced cleanly off his body. Internal organs litter the floor, but not a single drop of blood falls with them. The lower half of Takumi's body begins to give way. He braces himself and manages to plant his feet. In the following moment, the cross-section of his wound begins to undulate and squirm. A bubbling noise ensues. In this following moment, the cross-section of his wound begins to undulate and squirm. We have said that already. And then he regenerates, unharmed, unaffected. Even though his body was cleaved apart a mere second ago, already a new head, right arm, and shoulder were born. His old head and internal organs remain where they slid free from him. I've already blocked off my sense of pain. See, I knew you could do it! What has Psy'Min been saying this entire time? Of course you can block off sensations of pain. With a single step, Takumi approaches Narose. Narose clicks his tongue, then turns over his D-sword. By virtue of casting aside your bodily form, any form whatsoever is within your means, I take it. You can thank the delusion you showed me for that. He's unable to retain his shape as a human being. He took in the delusion and made it his own. This is not regeneration, but replacement. Missing parts replenish, flesh and bone are produced once again, all propagating infinitely from the dust within his body. So he basically reduced us to atoms, and we're like, oh, well, I guess we'll just control those atoms then. Screw you. His shape is not fixed. Like an amoeba, like a collection of slime, he can change himself freely. That's the reason Takumi calls himself a monster. Takumi takes yet another step toward Narose. Narose's frustration increases. Gripping the hilt, he thrusts his D-sword at the approaching Takumi. Takumi's head finds itself between a colossal pair of scissors. Without a brain, you can't have any more delusions, now can you? Well, that didn't work a minute ago, now did it? Takumi's head is crushed. It splits like a watermelon, blood and gray matter burst forth. Everything above the neck is gone, and yet Takemi's body remains. Regeneration, replacement is instantaneous. As soon as his heel hits the ground, as if nothing happened, as if he were entirely replaced, his head returns right to where it was without a single scratch. Narose awakens to an understanding. He cannot win this fight. Yes, Narose has awakened to how much shit he's in. Physical attacks with his D-sword are useless. The delusional attack denying the boy's reason for existence was taken in and used for an alternate purpose. The current Nishiju Takemi is all too removed from human normalcy, all too distorted of an existence, all too fitting as a monster. And yet, despite it all, Narose has no intention of conceding. His next thought is to utilize Noah 2's power to bombard Takemi with innumerable antiparticles. Bombardment with antiparticles can transform any known existence in a negative matter, ending ultimately in self-collapse. If disruption from the surface is not viable, then collapse must be undertaken from within. And I think we're aware of this and just say, good plan. Yeah, you're on the right track. Narose's thoughts were read by Takemi. What? The shine of Takemi's D-sword transforms from red to black. Is this the serpent? A black flame envelops the blade. It wriggles forth, extending outward. Its shape resembles that of a dark, colossal serpent. And then it shall appear. It roams throughout the dome as if constrained by it. Again, this happened the first time round. Toward the ceiling, toward the floor, as though it is licking them up, as though it is scraping them away. It simply consumes. A dark, colossal serpent of wicked hearts. A being capable of devouring all corrosion, shattering the wicked-hearted king's body itself, and instilling heterogeneity into his homogeneity. I still haven't learned how to say those words. The body of the colossal serpent is composed of antiparticles. With a mere touch, it can send any known object into self-collapse. A torrent of destruction composed of near-infinite greed. Can't say I'm all that fond of tentacle porn, though, you liar. Then and there, Takemi's D-sword swings, its pointed tip fixed on Narose. I'm not sure we got this CG the first time. Maybe we did. The dark serpent, winding itself in a coil, curves its body like a whip. Its jaw snaps at Narose. Such power! It can't be! Not once has Narose ever seen such a phenomenon from a D-sword. He cannot discern whether it was the hidden power of all Gigalomaniacs or merely Takemi's delusion. The dark fangs erode Narose's body, and he begins to collapse. All too slowly, like a frog slowly dissolving in the belly of a snake. See, this is a little bit different, because last time we drove ourselves at Noah through Narose to get past Noah's defenses. But now we're just killing Narose outright. Darkness swallowed him. He feels no pain. By nature, his death should be instant. But that is not what Takemi wished for. Realizing this, Narose's lips twist into a derisive smile. Narose had no fear of death. One could say that the ideals he pursued were accomplished with the completion of Noah 2. Even if you kill me, no other person can approach Noah 2. A perpetual motion machine. That's what you're dealing with. Its administration over humanity will last until the end of time. It does not merely sit idle and wait from afar, or watch from afar. Rather, it is a man-made god who interferes for the sake of mankind's happiness. Narose is God's inventor, so to speak. As long as Noah 2 continues to exist, mankind will not perish, and the eternal utopia Narose seeks will become real. However, but you can approach it, can't you? Nani? The serpent's body wriggles and writhes with Narose in its grasp, lifting his body in the air. If that's the case, then you're the key. Narose is astonished, but soon enough his face changes into an expression of pure agony. The serpent swings about his body with ease. Takumi shoots a glance at Rimi. Their eyes meet. Just what is Rimi feeling as she watches him? Reading her mind would be effortless, and yet Takumi does nothing of the sort. It seems I was able to save you after all. He quickly averts his eyes. His gaze then shifts to the still humming Noah 2, the throne of God, where none may stand foot. I wonder if something actually happens after this with Gladiol or whatever. Like this isn't even the final boss. A cradle which shows naught but dreams of bliss. I'm sorry. He apologizes to no one in particular. I very well might be an enemy of humanity. The eternal utopia this device would bring. A future without conflict. Takumi will extinguish them with his own two hands. Is that right? Or is it wrong? Takumi can't give the answer to that. But it's pretty common in mythology. Even gods tend to slack off when women are involved. That's why I, too, will sacrifice the happiness of mankind out of love for a girl. Takumi, D-sword in hand, bends his arms in a giant arc. Breakthrough! Did he come up with a cool name this time? He thrusts it forward just like a javelin. The colossal servant of darkness charges straight ahead. With the bait known as Narose impaled by its tip, it flies straight toward Noah 2. An enormous serpent of antiparticles, capable of terminating any known object. It had no will of its own, thus it is not something that could be warped nor distorted. That's why I figured Narose wasn't actually necessary at this point. Because Noah 2's defenses are based on its ability to basically keep someone from taking a conscious action against it. But the snake doesn't have a consciousness, it's just tearing things up. With the greedy impulse to destroy, using Narose as the key, the delusional barrier is easily smashed to pieces. I still think Narose wasn't necessary, but alright. Hey, wait a minute. Oh. Did you have to break the cool D-sword? Okay, now, this is the point where Rimi kills us in the original Silent Sky ending. Oh, and we're kind of back there. So how's this going to be different? This is going to auto-scroll, isn't it? When did the rain begin to fall? It was just a huge explosion. Yep, and its blast... Its blast blew my body away like it was nothing more than a rag doll. Next thing I knew, I found myself lying here. Those eyes are always watching me. The stare pierces through the thick pitch black rain clouds. The stare pierces through the thick black rain clouds and things that were also said that I couldn't read. Don't look at me. My body won't stop shivering. Not from the chill of the rain, but rather the ice-cold rubble pressed against my back. So terribly cold. A gaze pierces me from the heavens, who it belongs to I can't say. As if to escape it, I raise my head to look at the environment around me. I went through 6 other endings to get this ending. It better be different. There I see a ruined city. There I see despair. This better go somewhere else. There I see death. There I see nothingness. Not a soul is there. Not a soul is moving. Not a soul is left alive. Also, Rimi doesn't have her D-sword anymore. It became part of my sword. The only thing I can hear is the rain pouring. At this rate, everything. Both the living and the dead. Will it all be gently embraced and washed away? How nice it would be if all this was just a delusion, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I can't move my body. I can only move my eyes and neck, and even then just barely. I can't use that monstrous power from before. My body is shivering, but that's nothing more than a psychological phenomenon. or physiological phenomenon. It isn't happening by my own will. I don't want my body to tremble. If I can't move it freely, it isn't my body. Or maybe I've never had free will ever since I was born. Nobody knows where exactly the soul resides. Bearing that in mind, how can anyone say that there's a soul inside this body of mine? But then where exactly am I now? Am I really here? Am I anywhere at all? In this shattered world where all stands still, where all that can be heard is the rain of death, suddenly another sound echoes in it. A single solitary existence begins to emerge from the sea of nothingness. Who are you? You're a Rimy. Is your skin so pale because it's been numbed by the chill of the rain? Or is it because you're already dead? The ending is called Blue Sky. Something needs to happen to give me a blue sky. And yet the girl isn't shivering, and those eyes of hers nearly hidden by her bangs. Yes? Don't look at me. Don't look at me. They look so terribly sad. They look as if they hold a hint of madness. They look as if they reflect nothing. If she and I were the only ones left in the world, if we stared into each other's eyes like this for all eternity, would my world be reduced to the reflection in her eyes? Would her world be reduced to the reflection in my eyes? The only thing reflected in her eyes is me. The only thing reflected in my eyes is her. When I think of it that way, the world immediately seems much smaller. Hey! Suddenly a flash of static reaches my ears, one endlessly beautiful yet deeply discordant. She lowers her head and spreads her arms wide. Okay, she got her sword back. Almost as if preparing to take off, to soar high above the rain clouds. Or as if trying to catch all the falling rain. All that's watching you is a delusion. What's a delusion? What are you going to get rid of? From where I am on the ground, I can't see the expression on that lowered head of hers. Behind this thin veil of rain, just what kind of face are you making? I'm making a face where I summon my D-sword. I'll put you to rest now. No, this is the good ending. Don't do it. An angel? Are those dancing feathers of light blessing me, or... Come on, how is this going to play out different? Yes, nice feathers. Ah, I see. I finally understand. She's going to use that to kill me. How is this going to deviate? We're like 60 seconds away from getting stabbed. The girl slowly kneels to the ground right before my collapsed body. With her head still lowered, she gently takes my own in her hands. I surrendered my body to her grasp. I'm just relieved that she isn't looking at me. I'll put you to rest now. And all of a sudden, Phoenix Wright comes in. Objection! In my ear, I hear a whisper. Garbled by static, it's as beautiful as it is discordant. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This game loves the word discordant. Wait, do I need to click now? It just says, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. There's nothing to apologize for. Oh, I've been restored my clicking powers. If I don't disappear, the other me, the real me, will die. No, it took my clicking powers away again, so that's why I'm okay with this. In fact, I'm really glad I get to be erased by you. It's not a bad end for a monster like me. I don't have any regrets. Can we just maybe make out for 10 or 15 minutes first? A warm, soft, gentle, sweet sensation. And miraculously, as if it were an anesthetic, the shivering in my body slowly begins to die down. Her soft breath tickles my cheeks. It smells so sweet. Suddenly I sense something pressed against my chest. The large sword she holds tears through my skin. Well, that's unfortunate. Bores into my flesh, weaves through my bones, and slowly sinks to the center of my body. But gifted with the anesthesia of her kiss, I no longer feel any pain. I would never have imagined I'd get such a kind death. Just the thought of it breaks my heart, leaving me on the verge of tears. No, those are tears for not getting a better ending. Is it credits? Trying to hide them, I look past the girl's head up toward the ashen sky, where the rain continues to pour and not be blue. Wait, it's getting blue. There's blue. There's a bit of blue. I see blue. It's slightly blue. Credits? Even the Steins Gate true ending continued past the credits. I can't do it. Okay, never mind. Well, you already stabbed me. You can do it. You did do it. It's too late to say I can't do it. Her lips pull away from me. Her sad whispers trickle into my ears. Aw, sad Remy. She can't go through with it. I knew it. I can't kill you, Taku. Is this actually the continuation? Like, nothing's actually changed from the Silent Sky ending? This is just how things carry on? Because she literally stabbed us. It said the sword pierced our chest. I feel no pain. Her sword isn't real booted. Oh, psych. My body isn't injured the slightest, so her sword did get buried in us. It was just a delusion. Well, but you have to erase me. So we're now beyond the Silent Sky ending. If you don't, the real me will die. He will die. That's why I should die instead. That way he can stay alive for just a little bit longer. I'm sure that's what you want, too. Erase me. And there's nothing that allows us to keep living, because apparently when he dies, we die anyway. Erase all that I am. I can't. Maybe Takumi will be killed, but Shogun will be healed, and that's how we continue on. Rimi lightly shakes her head. Those eyes of hers waver as they stare at me. There's a few different ways this can go. Oh, I love you. I love how weak you are. Well, I'm glad you love that, because he doesn't have a whole lot of other redeeming qualities. I love how much of a bitch you are, like Psy'Min keeps calling you. How even though you're weak, you're so cowardly. You let yourself be torn to pieces just to save someone like me. I love how strong you are. I want to spend so much more time with you. I don't want to lose you. I want you to live. You'll look at me? He told her not to look at you. But I'm a monster. So am I. Is it okay for me to keep on living? You have the power to keep on living. If you so... Was that Shogun's voice? If you so choose. It is more than okay for you to live. I hear a voice from the sky. Yeah, that was Shogun. And with that I understand. Because our minds are directly connected, I perceive a certain feeling. That right now, at this very moment, his life just vanished. Takumi's dead, isn't he? So what now happens to us? In that moment, Remy quickly sensed the emotions my face conveyed. Quick, mutual recognition of my continued existence. We're already looking into each other's eyes. Hesitating for a moment, I give her a faint nod. Yeah. Don't cry. I don't want you to cry. Feeling returns to my entire body. Warmth returns to my body as well. Even though my movements are still clumsy, even though I'm still trembling, with the hand I can move, I take out a vermilion handkerchief. Remy's face is covered in tears. The droplets that are so beautiful, so clear. I softly wipe them away with all the memories you've given me. I love you too. Remy tightly clasps my hand, as if she wishes to cling to it forever. As if to confirm that we exist, right here. Aw, look at that sweet little picture. The warmth within us is contagious. Both my and your temperatures melt together. The two of us look up at the sky. Without a doubt, it's covered by clouds. We need to take care of the gladiole thing so the sky can be blue again, but light is composed of electromagnetic waves. Tripped all over that. The oscillations of these waves are what we perceive as color. Yeah, that is not blue yet. The game isn't over until the sky's blue, damn it. Taku. Those words. Words that only he and Remy should know. Words that he used to give Remy hope. And yet I know them, because I've seen his memories. He and I are one body and soul. My memories and his are shared between us. His memories of the 17 years of life he lived were all passed down to me. And he vicariously experienced my own year and a half of life. If we apply the color we desire to our own dead spots, the color of our sky can be regained. We know that color, because in that image world of only sea and sky, it's the color we gazed up at and burned into our memories. So you're going to use your Gigalomaniac powers to make it stop raining. I feel like you have bigger issues, but alright. Psy'Min kept going on about the name Blue Sky. I guess we're going to get a blue sky. Suddenly the rain stops. That was a cool transition. In an instant, the clouds vanish. It's clearing up. It's auto-scrolling. Coming back. Something that no matter where you look, always seems to draw you in. Gently blankets the world. The blue sky above. Okay, that's credits. That's nice and all. But there's got to be more. Come on, 49 minutes? You got to be joking. What's that about? Okay, well, this is like the 9th time we've seen this. But what happens afterwards? I want to get some closure on everyone else. I guess Bond just gets wrecked. That's it. No. Screw you, Anime Columbo. Oh, hey, we get a few new CGs. So I guess Nanami was with Takumi when he passed away. Because it said Nanami was in the... No, her hand is there. Why is her hand there? But she's wearing her bangle. I mean, Shogun did steal her hand back. We know that. Via Remy going into our fridge. Did he find a way to return the hand to Remy? Or, not to Remy, but to Nanami before he passed away? Is that what's being implied here? So before Nishiju passed away, he reattached Nanami's hand? Because this can't be a flashback. She has her bangle. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Also, was the bangle attached to the hand? I'm pretty sure that when Remy went and got the thing, she took the bangle back as well. So that would be the only way she got it back. I feel like this is going a little bit longer than usual. We're also stuck on this image, which I feel like is trying to get that meaning across. I thought we'd see a little bit more of a montage, but no, it's just this. Also, she's not covered in blood. Ah, there's the montage. Okay. Does Ayase get to see the blue sky? Does she see blue, or is she still stuck in Ayase no Uta? Also, does everyone get their D swords back? Because I kind of stole those. Remy got hers. I guess if I erase my sword and erase all the other swords with them, then they get resummonable. That's how that works, right? That's why I could never figure out why Ayase just leaned hers against the wall. It's like, why would you do that? Oh, Type Moon was involved in this. Interesting. They're mostly well known for Tsukihime and Multi-Blood. I heard Tsukihime is finally getting an English release. I could have sworn I heard a rumor about that. I really hope that's the case, because I'd like to try that. I know a lot about it, but it's one of those games that everyone wishes would come to the West. And never does. Well, there's Kazue with her messed up leg. Suwa just helping her out. I do feel like this is going a little longer than usual, though. There better be something after this. Even if there isn't, we got prologue. Now, the Steins Gate ending, the true ending, the original ending, went way past the credits. It was like an hour, hour and a half of more story, of more resolution after the credits ended. Who knows if we'll get anything here, but one way or another, I think there's some sort of prologue. Again, I want more story. I want more things to be touched on. So much stuff was like setting up. Sarah-chan, yeah, you contributed so much. Thanks, Sarah. That's the toy. That's the toy lying in the rubble. You need to go and get that. It's the Sarah-chan toy, just in the mess. That might actually be, I don't know if that's at the Scramble Crossing where he took it. If he took it back there, or if that's just the collectible from his crate. On top of whatever's left of his crate, of his building. Alright, what else? What else? Don't you kick me back to the title screen. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, game. Do I need to click? You gonna make me click? It's just mages. Yeah, move it. Really? Reach the blue sky ending? That's it? Oh, that's a little disappointing. I had high hopes for so much more. I haven't got the achievement yet, though. So it might be messing with me. Oh, okay, the prelude. Whoa. Oh. I was going to say, where are we going here? But, alright. Remy and Sarah-chan, congratulations. Thanks. Thanks for that CG. I didn't get the... Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Settle down, game. Alright. But I didn't get the achievement for getting the blue sky ending. Hang on a second. Chaos... No, I did get the achievement. Weird. It didn't bloop and come up in the corner. Reach all endings also didn't bloop and come up in the corner, but I did get it. Alright. Well, that's all dandy and well and good. But we have a prelude. What's in here? Delusion of Zero, a Chaos Head prelude. Wait, is this a Committee of Zero thing? Or is Committee of Zero named after this? Before I pass on, allow me to recount my memories leading to this moment. So is this just Shogun's final thoughts? Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world. Those are the words of Albert Einstein. When his delusion, E equals MC squared, embraced the world, how had the man felt? Yes, what you surmise is true. The famous gifted physicist was in fact a gigglomaniac. And a fairly exceptional one at that. My power is undoubtedly pale in comparison to his. Yet, despite my saying so, I unknowingly brought a similar delusion into existence. To deny that reality would be a fool's errand, for my delusion has already spread far across the world. Fun whatever to the power of 10 times int to the power of 40 equals IR2. I believe I was in the 4th grade when I materialized that formula. It was also around that time when my body first began to suffer various abnormalities. Ever since its very birth, that delusion has slowly eroded my body, and in mere 6 months I was no longer able to walk unassisted. At the time, I was not aware of my status as a gigglomaniac. I somehow managed to continue attending classes, but I proved unable to participate in an upcoming field trip due to my worsening condition. And so, despite my intense anticipation for the event, my parents forbade me from attending, which birthed in me a fierce resentment toward them for a time. From that moment onward, my delusions continued to engorge, delusions synonymous with nothing but pure envy. These very delusions would go on to injure my classmates, who had gone on the field trip without me, and killing the chaperoning teacher. Only then did I come to realize that I harbored a terrifying power. I was admitted to the hospital soon after. More time would pass, and eventually all the doctors present gave up on diagnosing my condition. All the doctors save for one. Oh! I was going to say Takashina, but Narose Genichi. Although I was fairly young when I first encountered him, it only took a glance to understand this man's true, sinister nature. Grin. The two of us were alike, after all. Two souls far removed from common sense. We still need to know who was in Narose's office. Naturally, because of this fact, his proposed treatment for my condition was denied, and he was dismissed from my case. I was fortunate in that his successor turned out to be Dr. Takashina. There we go. Before Narose departed, however, I took the time to peer into his mind and learned of both Project Noah and Nozomi technology. The very hospital I had been admitted to also served as the lair of my enemy. If nothing was done, my delusion would be utilized by Project Noah, and grave consequences would befall the world. When I realized this, I immediately attempted escape. But that was when I grasped a terrifying truth. Only as a result of my treatment had I come to reach a form of stability. In other words, my body had already deteriorated to a point where I could no longer survive outside of the hospital. I was intensely aware of the fact that my enemies were always near. I kept them at bay with delusions, but my body grew weaker with each person I stayed. A vicious cycle that only served to further extend my stay at the hospital. If this were to continue, my capture by Narose would be inevitable. With no other options left to me, I was forced to erase every trace of my existence. I had ceased attending classes sometime prior to that point, so upon my classmates' graduation from elementary school, I executed my plan. Our treatment of Nishiju Takumi has proven successful, and he has thus been discharged from the hospital. That is the fiction I created. What I implanted into the minds of my parents, as well as the entirety of the hospital's staff. Any person who had any possibility of coming into contact with Narose was put under this impression. Then, using my delusions, I isolated myself in a hospital room, separated from the rest of the building. But I was not able to alter everyone's memories. My younger sister Nanami proved to be an exception. Only she was able to enter the room with no semblance of difficulty. She did not even seem to recognize the room as separate from the hospital. Of course, whenever she took it upon herself to visit the hospital, I crafted a delusion allowing her to remain unseen by anyone present. Nanami, while quite childish, showed nothing but concern for me during my time in the hospital. Even on my darkest days, she put forth her best effort to care for me. Those moments showed me how strong she truly was, and I found myself unable to steal her memories away from her. Nanami, however, was not the only exception. Yep, that made sense too. This was the time I came to know a girl named Sakihara Rimi. Rimi had been confined to the hospital's basement for nearly a year. Every day she would face brutal, ceaseless torture at the hands of Narose, but no matter how hard I tried to call out to her, my voice would never reach her. It was only upon her eventual awakening as a gigalomaniac that I finally managed to synchronize with her delusion. In that moment, I entered the world inside her mind, her image world. Whether that was truly for the best, I have yet to determine. The delusions she carried within her are endlessly sorrowful, and yet they are also her reality. Unable to face it, she had killed her own heart and mind numerous times before I met her, destroying all remnants of her past selves. The formula born from my delusions had brought this girl endless suffering. For all these reasons, I saved her. My delusionary powers allow me to travel anywhere. In reality, my body is still incapable of walking, but I am able to create a door that leads to any destination. Producing these delusions requires a great deal of strength, however, forcing me to only use it sparingly. Is that why all our multiple-choice questions have been doors? And yet, despite this fierce tax on my body, I would not hesitate to give my life if it meant stopping Project Noah, a project I had effectively founded when I allowed my delusion to spread across the world. And so, upon isolating myself, I began to pour every ounce of strength I had into halting the advancement of Project Noah. However, the skill my enemies possessed matched my own, rendering my efforts useless. They had established a defensive strategy, and with it, the search for me had begun. If I were to make even one mistake, I would be discovered in an instant and captured. This manhunt would only serve to increase the danger Nanami was in, as the two of us were family. I had no desire to involve anyone in this fight, so I hid myself away from the world. In the end, I was naive, and 3 years went by entirely wasted. During that time, I conjured numerous delusions, but each one only served to weaken me further. If this were to continue, there would be no way of stopping Project Noah. For this reason, I decided to give birth to you. To achieve this end, I had to sever every link I had left to society. My final remaining connection to the outside world, to my normal life, was Nanami. Because of this, I was forced to erase all memory she had of me. I know that my actions caused her a great deal of pain. In our last moments together, it was clear how deeply hurt she was. Even so, I knew that pain was sure to leave her momentarily. As long as she forgot about me, she would be able to return to her normal life. Wishing only for her happiness, I liberated her from the burden known as myself. It was with Remy that I miscalculated. Naturally, I tried to erase her memories as well. I wanted her to forget about her awakening as a gigalomaniac, about her sickly torture at the hands of Neurose, and that she had ever met me. I wanted to give her a normal life. However, Remy is an exceptionally skilled gigalomaniac. No matter how many times I tried to overwrite her memories, my delusions were deflected without fail. It was clear she was very experienced in locking away her heart, all while wearing the brightest of smiles on her face. My attempts having borne no fruit, I abandoned all hope of altering her memories, and thus redirected my efforts. Creating a human from nothing proved difficult, even with the power of delusions. I've come to know that the human soul is incredibly delicate, that it is as elaborate as it is precise. In order to create you, I focused completely on the personality the delusions would form. For an entire month's time, you were all I thought about. In a way, it was quite similar to falling in love, though I myself have never known the feeling. If you were to come to know this, I am sure you would feel repulsed. Essentially, you are me. My memories, my abilities, and finally my name. I have entrusted them all to you. The moment you are born, I will no longer be the boy known as Nishiju Takumi. From that moment on, I shall take on the moniker Shogun. Why Shogun, you may ask? Well, I quite like Togo Shogun. That's all there is to it. With that being said, once you are born, your role will no doubt be a very painful one. Is that a character from an anime? You have to look that up. First and foremost, you must awaken as a gigalomaniac. To meet this end, you will have to endure an extreme mental load, a grave, unforgiving strain on your psyche. Once you awaken and grasp your D-sword, the battle against the Zomi technology will begin. The battle to stop Project Noah. That is my ultimate goal, and by extension, yours. But I would be remiss if I did not say this. My reason for creating you was incredibly selfish, but I had no other choice. I cannot do this on my own. I hope you can find it in yourself to forgive me. When the curtain finally falls, you will be free. Once you are granted this freedom, please grant me this in return. I ask that you turn a blind eye to my selfish desires, including forcing these memories onto you. And I ask that you be a good older brother to Nanami. Please. So we're just going to keep living? Because that's not the impression I got was going to happen. If I had the ability, I would have done this all by myself. I would have done it while dreaming of the peace I would see once it all came to a close. It is a pleasure to meet you, Nishiju Takemi. Yet, this is also goodbye, Nishiju Takemi. Welcome to the world. Harsh battles await you, as do infinite possibilities. As long as the blue sky above exists, that fact can never be denied. You are me, and at the same time, you are also you. Getting Persona 5 in here. A hospital room none would visit, dyed orange by the setting sun. This seems like a shift in tone. Clutching her knees silently in one of its corners, Sakihara Rimi noticed something strange occurring in Nishiju Takemi's bed. Oh? His breathing had quickened, his chest, reduced to mere skin and bone, rose and fell rapidly with each breath. Is this when we were being created? With a low gasp, Rimi watched as innumerable thorned vines slowly radiated from the bed's center. Nope, never mind. A delicate construct that appeared both metallic yet organic. With a beauty that rivaled even the most breathtaking of sights, vines of such description colored the room. They crept and crawled over the walls and floor, overtaking every inch of the closed space the two resided in. Huh? Like the veins of a leaf, shards of translucent glass emerged from the surface of the vines, each pulsating with a flickering red light. Together, it was reminiscent of an 8-headed serpent, each branch possessing its own will. Nishiju Takemi's D-Sword. That's our D-Sword? Jeez. Rimi had seen it only once before, but that time it had been confined to one of his weak, frail hands, wrapped around it as tightly as it could be. Sounds like Hermit Purple. Nishiju Takemi remained motionless on the bed. In spite of Rimi's attempts to inhibit him, she realized he had been successful in creating another self. As she gazed upon him, memories resurfaced of the time she had asked him if he intended to die as a result of his actions. To this, he had merely nodded. Soon the pulsing glow of the D-Sword covering the walls began to dim, and before long the vines began to dry and crack. As they crumbled away around her, Rimi slowly rose to her feet. Taking care not to run into any thorns, she cautiously made her way over to the bed. Standing by his side, she lifted her hand and gently caressed Shogun's desiccated cheek. Still, he continued to breathe. Would he ever regain consciousness? Someday? At that moment in time, somewhere in Shibuya, another Nishiju Takemi had been born. Would she ever come to meet him someday? Until that day came, she would continue to wait here. For she had no family. For she had nowhere else to go. For she had no home to return to. I guess now we know that Rimi's family died in a car accident. I'm not sure if that was something we knew before her route. No one waiting for her. Gazing out the window, Rimi looked to the many skyscrapers of Shibuya, each dyed a deep orange by the twilight, as a single trickle of tears slid down her cheek. All of this came a mere 18 months before the Shibuya collapse. Sure did. Oh, dang, that's just boom. Well, that ended up being much shorter than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit bigger than that. But we did get all the endings. We still need to do some more achievements. CG library? We might be missing a few. Locked. So that's probably got to do with some delusions, either positive or negative, that we have not yet had a chance to uncover. Yeah, there's quite a few in here. Quite a few locked CGs, so that's fine. Hey, look at all those swords. Tips library, how we doing? Oh, I got an achievement. Ria Zhu, delusion synchro rate 0%. What does that mean? I'm not sure why I got that from going in here. Awesome sauce. I'm glad I have an entry for that so I know what it means. What is this diagnostic results? You're not delusional in the slightest. Your personality may be a bit too pragmatic, but you lead a very fulfilling life. You're adept at socializing, you have many friends, you've had many more romantic relationships, so you're doing well in work and school. You're most likely living a life in which delusions aren't even necessary. Are they talking to us? I cannot possibly understand why someone like you would want to play a game like this. Hey! Getting called out here. Please continue to live your happy, fulfilling life in the three-dimensional world. I'm sure there are many fun and exciting things ahead of you. A word from Izumi. Hey, Psy'Min! Whenever you see someone grinning because they got some delusion running through their head, don't call him a freak. Instead, treat him like a friend. If you do that, chicks will dig you because they'll think you're a nice guy, and you'll be even more likable. Thanks, Mizumi. Great talk. Why did I get an achievement like that for coming in here? How do I get 100 synchro? Is that from getting all the things? I'm probably missing one or two of these. Yeah, I remember looking at DQN to just be like, what the hell's a DQN? There we go. There's a question mark. I'm missing number 92. So they're numbered. All right. Oh, 55 and 56, both of which are Ys. I wonder what they are. So I'll go and get those on my own time. You don't need to be bothered by that. I can't click the close button on the window. It's a stupid thing. And these are just movies that we've seen. Okay. Most of these seem like end credits. Sound library. Okay, I'll let you give these a listen. Tsundere player. I'll let you give these a listen. Only 'cause it's you, though. Oh, great. The AI is Sarah-chan powered. I love it. Great. Fantastic. My favorite thing. But, I wish there was more to that ending. I like that the character endings gave us some extra stuff, but I was kind of hoping they would elaborate on the world a bit and set us up for a big finale. Whereas all we really did was just tack 5 minutes onto the end of the Silent Sky ending, so that's a bit of a letdown. I'm kind of disappointed by that. But oh well, I mean, that was pretty good. That was still a pretty good ending. So did we keep living? I guess we keep living. I guess we have a happy ending with Remy now. And there's a blue sky even though Shibuya is completely destroyed. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for coming along. I will probably play the sequel, which is called Chaos Child, at some point. I think that takes place about 5 years after this game. I know it references this earthquake as something that happened. I know it's an in-universe thing, so I don't know if it brings us more Gigalomaniacs or what. But it is a sequel, and so we'll definitely play it. I'm going to play something else before we get to that, though. I think we need a little break from the Science Adventure series. I may play Steins Gate on stream. I may replay that for fun on stream on Twitch, especially now that we have the benefit of hindsight to an extent, so that we can kind of look for the references to this game, because apparently they take place in the same universe. I wonder what that says about Steins Gate, then. Does Okabe know that he's living in a video game? How does that mix? Every time Rentaro shifts timelines, the Committee of 300 is like, okay, what happened to the game? Quit changing branches in GitHub. Anyway, that is the game. I guess there's nothing else that really needs to be said. I have rambled, I guess. Rambled and stalled long enough. I'm not sure I got anything else to talk about, so I'm going to go ahead and finish the 100% completion on my own time. And I hope you guys enjoyed the Let's Play. That is the end of Chaos Head Noah. I still feel a little underwhelmed by the true ending, but I'll take it. So take care. I'll see you guys next time. Again, come by on Twitch sometime. Say hi. Let me know how you enjoyed the Let's Play, or follow me on Twitter. Feel free to get involved with the community, because I would love to meet you. And I appreciate all your comments and likes and views. I will see you next time. Have a great week. I know you will. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Future Psy'Min here. I figured I'd throw a few thoughts on the end of this video, since I had nowhere else to put them. And also, I want to pad out the end of the video to throw you off as to how long the content is going to last. Anyway. Well, that was a game. I did want to cover a few of the plot points that I talked about that didn't get covered, or that I thought didn't get covered. Number one, the person that Narose is talking to in the office, turns out it actually is Nanami. I was doing a little searching online to look up what was certain plot points or potential plot holes, and it is pretty universally accepted that it is Nanami in there. It makes sense, but at the time it sounded like Narose was having a cordial conversation with someone who had come to them, or at the very least was a guest or something along those lines. Of course, now we know from Remy's route that this is just how Narose talks to people he's torturing for years, or guests, or whatever, so that means nothing. It actually was the Nanami who was there, which also explains the Garo Froggy. As far as the Garo Froggies are concerned, it is confirmed that they are some sort of monitor device or influencer. The Garo Froggy stands for GE Rate Observer. So that's what the Garo and Garo Froggy stands for. So it's definitely a thing that this group is using. Anyway, I just wanted to cover those two items. In the meantime, yeah, I enjoyed the game. I did learn something else about the game, though. Apparently, when Chaos Head first came out, it didn't have the character endings. It just had the Crying Sky and Blue Sky and that. And it didn't have the 6 endings for the 6 girls. Those were added later. So that explains why the 6 endings don't build up to a big total summarizing ending. It's because the ending that's there, the true ending, that was there before the 6 endings were even added, which is curious as well. It also begs the question about the Committee of 300. I do wonder how much more important they're going to be in coming games. I know that the Committee of 300 is mentioned in Steins Gate, but the way that this game portrays the Committee of 300 as this overarching sort of game master entity, I mean, even that reframes Steins Gate. If Rintaro is throwing around all these timelines or whatever within the game, shouldn't they be concerned about that? But apparently not. I don't know. That seems like a weird thing to just add on as part of Senna's route if it doesn't go anywhere. And Senna's route, frankly, is weird enough as it is. Why was your cheat code a baby? I don't follow that logic. That's not the thing that I would have expected. I still don't even know if there was a cheat code in the first place. We didn't really see an effect of it. And of course, the whole bit about Bamose just tacked on at the end. It's like, what? Anyway, I think that most of the criticisms that I have about this game really boil down to the fact that I don't think it's just aged well. A lot of the things that it's doing would have seemed more novel or just more interesting maybe in 2008 or whenever this game came out. And now that I'm playing this years down the road, when I've seen my fair share of chuny characters and, I don't know, better execution on this formula in general, it seems a little long in the tooth. But I guess I can forgive that. That's not really something that it can help. Also, the idea of observing it as more of a horror game in general does smooth over some of the rough spots as well, because the game is intentionally trying to confuse you and make you wonder what the hell is going on. And to be fair, on the first playthrough, there were several times in several of the episodes where I was kind of getting a little bit concerned and creeped out and wondering what the hell is going on right now. So, in hindsight, I'm able to forgive some of its more glaring flaws, and I think it's a solid C+ of a game. I do look forward to playing the rest of the science adventure stuff. Of course, I've played the hell out of every Steins Gate game, but of course we will move on to Chaos Child, which is the direct sequel to this, relatively soon, as well as the robotics Notes, Robotics Dash, whatever those games are called. I forget off the top of my head. Those will certainly be played at some point as well. And hopefully the Committee of 300 gets fleshed out in some way. Because if it is this overarching entity, then that really needs to be elaborated on. Otherwise, it's just something this game made up for the sake of making something up. And of course, it'll just chalk it up to being another delusion, which I think is my biggest problem with this game. Everything is just lazy storytelling. Oh, the explanation for that? Delusion. It's a delusion. Blah, 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 whatever. But anyway, thank you for sticking around and watching through the series. I will say one thing, though. You know, I keep bringing up this game, and I keep bringing up Steins Gate, because they are part of the same series, and I definitely felt like Steins Gate did a lot of things better than this game did, but this game was also the predecessor that really kind of laid the groundwork for what came after, including Steins Gate. And after some deliberation, I realized that, you know what? I think there's really only one way to settle once and for all which of these two games is the superior game, and I think it's to do something like this.
That's enough delusions out of
Can't
you.
we just debate instead? Hey, it was worth a try.
Let's go crazy!
Real boots.
Quit it, jerk!
Yeah.
Quit it, jerk!
Diesel.
Sanity! Stop right there!
Huh? Down.
Not yet! Stop right there!
This'll do it. Yeah. Huh?
Jerk!
Moves on. Won't This'll do it.
Quit it, jerk!
Huh?
Sanity! Ignite!
Diesel.
Pyrotechnics! Sanitize! Time to apply the pressure!
Done.
You did it to yourself.
A winner is you, Kurisu! The fire in your heart is burning. Round dose! Let's go crazy!
Real boots.
Quit it, jerk! Quit it, jerk!
Diesel.
Sanity! Ignite!
Reach.
Ow! Quit it, future!
This'll do it. Yeah. Diesel.
Ignite! Future gadget! Sanity! Ignite! Sanitize!
Diesel sword. Diesel.
Don't touch me!
Diesel. Diesel. This'll do it. Reach.
Don't touch me! Time to apply the You did it to yourself.
A winner is you, Kurisu! The fire in your heart is burning. Round Trace! Let's go crazy!
I'm not afraid.
Time to apply the
Diesel. Diesel. Yeah. This'll do it. Yeah.
Not
Future. This'll do it.
Not yet! Whoa!
Diesel.
Future!
Diesel. This'll do it.
This is the will of Steins Gate!
This'll do it.
Not yet! Future gadget number... Quit,
Reach.
jerk!
This'll do it.
Quit, jerk! Hey! Time to apply the...
I'm not afraid.
Quit it, jerk! Quit
This'll do it.
Whoa.
Don't reach.
Whoa.
Huh? Diesel. Yeah, yeah.
Next to CERN, you're a small.
Where is you? Kurisu!
Delusions becoming reality is pretty far-fetched.